Hello, my name is Juan Martinez. I'm with the Planning Division here in the city of Oxnard. I'm the assigned project planner for the project commonly known as Encanto. This project involves three entitlement applications, planning and zoning permit numbers 20-505. This is a special use permit for the development plan. Case number 20-304, a tentative subdivision map for tract 6054, and case number 20-53503, a density bonus application. All three entitlements involve the property located 1101 and 1111 West 2nd Street. The applications were filed on behalf of the property owner, the Oxnard Union High School District, and Henrica. The development plan proposes to demolish uh, existing infrastructure, which consists of modular classrooms and site improvements that formerly served the Oxnard Union High School Adult Education Program. The project involves a 4.10-acre site that will be subdivided into 12 lots that will range between 3,800 and 9,900 square feet. The map will also dedicate approximately an acre of land for the benefit of public right-of-way for existing and proposed improvements, and the net developable area will be 3.13 acres. Again, this would be for 27 detached single-family units that will all consist of three-bedroom homes, two plan mixes, and the unit sizes will be 1,149 or 1,201 square feet. They will either have an attached or detached garage for side-by-side parking with a total square foot of 484 square feet. The subdivision, again, is for tract 6054. Total gross area is 4.1. And then 1 acre will be dedicated for public right-of-way. The map will also create an easement overlay. This would be for the private alley, which will be owned and maintained in perpetuity by the property owners. The map will also create a point 4, which is 9,466 no-bill zone. A portion of at the southwest corner is within the airport restriction zone. The project also involves is subject to the inclusionary housing affordable requirements. In this case, 10% of the units have to be set aside for low income. The project is also involves a density bonus application. The developer is seeking 3 concessions in a density of 23% to allow 5 additional units. This would be over and above the base density of 22 for a total of 27 units. The 3 concessions include a reduction in the minimum lot area from 6,000 to lots averaging about 5,300 square feet. The reduction, second concession would be a reduction in the minimum lot dimensions. This would be frontages and width from 50 feet to 37 feet, and the lot depth from 100 feet to 71 feet. And the third concession is a reduction in the rear yard setback from 25 feet to 5 feet. Affordable units provided by this project will total 7 units. 3 would be for low income at 80% area medium, and for moderate income at 80% up to 120% area medium income. All 7 units will be equity shared deed restricted units. These are just pictures showing the existing condition. The top view is a north view looking from the intersection of 2nd and K Street. The bottom image is a south view looking at the school district facilities, just southeast of 2nd and K Street. This is the top view is a north view at K Street looking at the existing community to the left, and then the project site to the right. The image below is looking at the project site in a southeast direction from K Street, looking east on 1st. And then this is an east view closer to the cul-de-sac at the end of West 1st Street. Alley views, The top view is from the 2nd Street, looking at the existing community setting. To the right, east of the alley, and image number 2 is further down the alley, looking at the modular units that exist at the adult school. And this is just a south view down the alley. The project is just east of Ventura Road, east of the Oxnard Airport, and it is in the Fremont neighborhood. The image below, the image below on the right-hand side shows the footprint of the project site. Uh, the, the setting is predominantly single-family, and it's predominantly designated for residential low. Again, the existing use at the site was the former Oxnard School District of Adult Education. To the west, the north, and the east, we have single-family, which is consistent with the residential low. And then to the south is the school district facility and the future campus park. And then in the directly diagonally is the homeless center, which is the former National Guard Armory. This is just an aerial image of the zoning designations, and the designations that make up the surrounding areas. Again, to the north is predominantly R1, which is where the property or the project site lies. And then to the south is the park setting, and then commercial, where the armory and some of the shopping centers that front Ventura Road. This is a site plan of the proposed development and the landscaping setting. The site plan shows the footprint of the homes, the open space between properties and between structures. Down below is the type of trees that we would expect to see along the frontage. These would be trees that we would see, new trees that would be planted along 1st Street, South K Street, and 2nd Street. Most of the structures, most of the single families will be detached from the garage, with the exception of lots 23, 24, 26, and 27. For the lots that are detached, there will be a secondary access that will open a garage door into the backyard. This allows for an opportunity for true and for people to enjoy, and the benefit with that is for people to really use their garages. The alley will bisect the project with the units to the north and units to the south. The alley will be privately owned and maintained by the owners of the property. The airport restriction zone is in the bottom on the lower westerly portion. The restriction zones are delineated here. This is the no-build zone. And again, the homes will generally front the streets. They will front 2nd Street, 8th Street, 1st Street. The sidewalks along 2nd Street will be monolithic to be consistent with the east and west sidewalk. And then the sidewalks on K Street and 1st Street will be a parkway sidewalk to be consistent with the existing streetscape and design for the adjacent sidewalk conditions. This is an overview of the comparison between the gross and the net area. The line in red represents the gross area at 4.1. The yellow hatched area represents the 3.13 acre area that was the buildable area. And then the circles are just representative of the fire hydrants. Essentially, there's two existing fire hydrants, one on 1st Street, one on 2nd Street, and then two additional fire hydrants will be required along 1st Street and another one on 2nd Street. So for a total of 4. The 2 existing will simply be upgraded to meet the current design standards fire hydrants. These are the floor plans of the garage. The garage is 484 square feet. Again, the garage has a double door. The door that opens into the alley will be the door that opens into the alley will be remote control, and then the second door will simply be there for the benefit of residents that will open to the backyard. Both plan types will have 3 bedrooms, the living room, the connecting kitchen, and a washer and dryer closet. So this, again, it's a single story, and well, yep, with the porch. I think both plans include a porch at the front entrance. This is a layout of how the project will be situated within the community. This is just a close-up and representative of the scale of structures in the community setting and how the project will essentially be plotted. The design of the homes are designed as Spanish Revival architecture. This type of architecture has very defining features with asymmetrical facades that one side isn't symmetrical with the other, which makes it unique. The walls will be stucco with the wall white stucco. This architecture design also includes one or more prominent arches, either over a door or principal window or beneath the porch. The low pitch roofs are also a part of this type of architecture. In this case, the project is proposing a red tone dark terracotta tile roof, and then the trims are going to be chocolate color. Otherwise, there's also a prominent window. All the units are designed with a main window that will be recessed behind a double framed wall that will make the walls appear thicker and will be highlighted as part of that design. So again, this is, all the units have the various architectural features to define this type of architecture. The next couple slides will just show the color rendering, sample materials that will be used, and then the black and white elevation details for each of the plans. In this case, we're seeing Plan 1, Plan 2A, Plan 2B. Again, each of the units carries over and has some of those architectural details for this type of Spanish Revival. And all the garages will essentially be built the same. These are the permit milestones and the process that the applications have entailed. Before the applications were filed with the city, the developer voluntarily met with the Fremont South neighborhood. That meeting took place on October 17th, 2019. In November 25th of 2019, our office received a pre-submittal review. Pre-submittal reviews are intended for site plan design and comments on site plan design. The DAC met and provided the developer comments on December 18th of 2019. A formal application for SB 330 was received by our office on June 29th of 2020. I'll explain a little bit further what SB 330 means in a later slide, but that is a pre-application that was reviewed by DAC on July 22nd of 2020. The developer voluntarily met with the Fremont South neighborhood a second time on October 29th, 2020, and then the formal applications were received a few days later on November 3rd, 2020, and then those applications and the formal submittals were reviewed by DAC on November 4th of 2020. Community workshop for this project involving the Fremont South neighborhood took place on January 11th of 2021, and here we are today in the Planning Commission hearing of August 26, 2021. And this project involves city council action and we expect that the project will go to City Council on October 5th, 2021. At the community meeting of January 11th, the Fremont South, approximately 439 mailers went out to the Fremont South neighborhood. The site was posted, and the meeting, which was a virtual meeting, was attended by approximately 30 members. Some of the questions and comments that were raised at the meeting involved questions regarding the purchase, and then if the purchase could be set aside, and if that could accommodate a priority for local residents. The developer also responded to questions regarding home pricing, parking, construction timeframes, alley design, maintenance, and if the project involved ADUs, and also if the project would conflict with construction activities at campus parks. The alley and the responses to some of the questions were that the alley was going to be constructed to meet the city standards for all loads, including semi-trucks, and obviously some of the service vehicles that enter the property, such as fire trucks and refuse trucks on a regular basis. And again, the alley is slated for private and ongoing maintenance by the property owners, and that will be via a homeowners association. Construction activities would be during normal daylight hours, and this would be to meet the city's standards. ADUs are not proposed. However, the ADUs are subject to state law and the city code. And although the developer is not proposing to provide ADUs, the owners are still subject to the state, city code and the state allowances, which essentially supersede the state. The city may supersede the city. So the option is there for future owners. And again, I think persons who attended the January community workshop also were invited and sent notice of today's public hearing. The project is considered an infill development and meets the Class 2 guidelines for the exemption. This would be CEQA exemption section 1515332. The project does include the construction of single-family homes, which is consistent with the general plan designation of residential low and the zoning designation of single-family residential. The project is located in a site less than 5 acres. Again, it's the site is actually 4.1, but it's still under the 5 acres, and the project site is proposed at a density of 8.6 units per acre. The project will be adequately served by utilities and public services. The site doesn't have a endangered habitat or in a location that is threatened, rare or threatened species. The project will not result in significant effects relating to traffic, noise, air quality, or water. This would be beyond what is already anticipated for the general plan. There is no substantial evidence the project will have a significant on the environment, and the city is ready to file a notice of exemption. More on SB 330. This is also known as the Housing Crisis Act of 2019. SB 330 is meant to expedite and facilitate developers that are proposing affordable housing. The expediting includes and prohibits that cities cannot require more than 5 hearings when reviewing a project. This would be for projects that comply with the objective standards of the city's general plan and zoning. The bill also freezes development standards and prohibits objective standards that involve personal or objective judgment. The Senate bill also freezes development fees, and this would be to the date that the pre-application was received. And the Senate bill also sunsets as of January 1st of 2025. It also indicates that if cities do not comply with this, the cities may be subject to a fine of up to $10,000 per year. So some of the unique conditions that are listed in the two resolutions, the two draft resolutions, are conditions that generally uh, align with the city council actions, because the tentative map does go to city council. The expiration date would be from the date the city council takes action. The inclusionary housing conditions are included in both resolutions. In the SUP and density bonus conditions 33 to 35, this is the listed obligations for the developer and also the listed obligations for the that would be expected of the owners. Conditions regarding the no parking in the alleyways, the fire hydrant locations, fiber optic infrastructure for the future connection, and then also construction conditions for noise, dust, and traffic control. And these are conditions 87, 120 to 124. Applicable fee conditions, conditions regarding the airport. There's condition 113, and there's a few other conditions that require notification and easements from the airport due to proximity and location. So again, before building permits are issued, those conditions in the airport involve easements and notifications. Conditions for a Native American monitor, and conditions regarding roadway and off-site improvements along the street frontages and the alley, and those are conditions 185 to 188. For the benefit of the alley and the maintenance of those areas, there is condition 189 that would require the establishing of an HOA and recordation of CCNRs, acknowledgments relating for both the issue, sort of tying the conditions together uh, in that they're related. The inclusionary and bonus density conditions are also duplicated in the tentative map. And then condition 52 identifies the right-of-way dedications. First Street will dedicate 30 feet. Second Street will be dedicating 30 feet. And then for the benefit of this K Street, 40 feet is necessary. And the public alley, half of the alley will be a dedication of 10 feet. And again, the condition 53 is for the HOA and the shared access and maintenance. This also includes the maintenance in the for the sewer and the storm drain system. That concludes the report, and staff is recommending that the Planning Commission find that the project be exempt pursuant to Section 15332, which is the infill development. This would be per the CEQA guidelines, and that the Planning Commission adopt a resolution approving planning and zoning permit 20-500-05. This is a special use permit for a development plan, and a density bonus permit 20-5303, subject to certain findings and conditions, and that the Planning Commission adopt a resolution recommending that City Council approve planning and zoning permit 20-300-04. This would be for a tentative track map for track 6054, subject to certain findings and conditions. Thank you. And that concludes our presentation.